He snapped the axle housing.
The only big changes since last time you saw this truck are 16mm shocks from Yeah Racing and some custom suspension brackets. And I cut the body up to make room for the all the extra suspension movement that I now have. So here's a bit more info on that. I'm waiting on new gears and other parts to come from China right now, so probably not going to see this truck for another couple weeks. But until it broke, it was running the best that it ever has. You'll notice how well it's sliding on some pretty lumpy dirt. Normally it would have just traction rolled immediately, but this new suspension does pretty well with all the rocks and stuff. Here's a better look at those suspension mounts. It's I think 1/16 steel. It's got some droop. Seems overdamped or maybe oversprung. I want it softer, more compliant than that. I'm gonna do some work on it, get some new springs tomorrow. Yeah, so this is how I chopped up the servo plate to make room for the axle mounted servo. Have a gyro mounted here. This is my receiver. Both of them have been waterproof with the fingers from a glove, and this has a zip tie. This is just kind of stretched over there. Seems to work pretty well. I haven't had anything freak out because of water yet. Got the ESC velcroed in place. There's the new 2845 motor. I went a little crazy chopping the body up. The first suspension setup I had, I was getting really bad wheel bite. And I realized that dialing in the suspension is more important to me than having the truck look good. So I just completely hacked off the fenders. And you can see at full compression, it still is gonna rub a tiny bit, but it very rarely gets that much suspension movement because I think these springs or shocks are too stiff.